23. Sim Tov Mem Tali. Yisrael shehifkid chametz eitzel Yisrael chaveiroi, or eitzel ha'en Yehudi. Ava b'shekibel olav hanifkad achrayis, over olav afa mafkid. If Yisrael left his chometz in the property of a goy, or the property of another Jew, and the other Jew or the goy is responsible for the chometz, if anything happens to it, he's going to have to pay. Even so, the Yisrael who owns the chometz is still over on Bali or Bali Motzi, he has to get rid of it. This is the opposite halacha to the one we saw in Sif Aleph. Sif Aleph we saw that if a Jew is looking after goyish chometz, a goy has chometz, and the Jew is looking after, the goy is responsible, is ensuring the chometz and looking after, is responsible to pay if anything happens to it. We saw that the Jew is chayiv, the Jew is responsible. Yeah. Here's the other way round, and the Jew is again responsible. Okay? Either or is enough to make it a problem. Either the person who owns the chometz or the person who is responsible to pay for the damages if it's lost or stolen. Either one is over on Baliwar. If either one is a Jew, then he's over on Baliwar. Then the Mishnah will explain that it's according to your test, the first wide line. Because the chometz is owned by the Jew, even though the goy is responsible for paying if it gets lost or stolen. However, the chometz belongs to the Jew. When we said in Sif Aleph that if the Jew is responsible for the chometz that belongs to a goy, he's over Bali or Bali Motzi. It means that he's now connected to the chometz and he's over Bali or Bali Motzi. It does not mean that the chometz is completely his and does not belong to the goy. However, the it's a very simple logic that the person who owns the chometz is over Bali or Bali Motzi and has to make sure to get rid of it. And if someone takes responsibility for chometz that he's responsible to pay if it gets lost or stolen, he also has to take responsibility for his chometz and make sure that it's not around on Pesach. So both of them are responsible. Okay, let's move on now to Siman Tov Mem Aleph.
So they're both 100% responsible?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Siman Tov Mem Aleph. If they're both Jewish, then they're both 100% responsible. Right. Right. If one's a Jew, one's a goy, then obviously only the Jew is responsible, not the goy. But it doesn't make a difference which side the Jew is on. Which side?
Well, they may both responsible for it, but the Jew is the one who has a problem.
Right. Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Siman Tov Mem Aleph. Dinei mishahilva al chometz v'beis sifim. Aleph. Eino Yehudi shehilva l'Yisrael al chametzoi. Umishkenoi biyodoi. So a goy lent money to a Jew. And the goy took a mashken, I think in English called a security. Security. Took a security. If the loan's not paid, then he'll keep the mashken, he'll keep the chometz as payment for the loan. When he gave him the security, when he gave him the chometz, at the time of the loan, at the time they gave him the money, the goy gave the money to the Jew gave the chometz to the goy, and he said, if I don't pay you, then it should become yours, me'achshov. Okay? If I don't pay you back by a certain time, let's say that the payment date is a few days after Pesach. If I don't pay you back by that time, then the chometz becomes yours me'achshov, from the time of the loan. Okay? So let's say he lent him the money on Rosh Chodesh Nisan, let's say. Lent him money on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the Jew gave the chometz to the goy and said, if I don't pay you back, the chometz becomes yours from Rosh Chodesh Nisan. But the payment date is Rosh Chodesh Iyar. Right, so the question is, who owns the chometz on Pesach? Comes to Rosh Chodesh Iyar, he doesn't pay him. The chometz stays in the hands of the goy. Okay? The chometz belongs to the goy. And now, is this chometz she'av alav Pesach? Is this chometz that that Pesach passed over it when it is this Jewish chometz or non-Jewish chometz? Which Pesach passed?
What kind of an arrangement is that? It's yours. If I don't pay you, it's yours to a previous time, right? But you can't sell it from that previous time. All you're doing is storing it for me at that point. You really don't have any ownership of it.
Correct. During the actual time, you haven't got ownership. But when the time when the actual time when the time comes, he doesn't pay. Then retroactively,
you did it.
Retroactively, it belongs to the goy.
But are there any benefits to retroactively owning chametz? No, there are none.
Well, there's benefits to the Jew in this case.
Yeah, I'm talking about to the goy.
Would there be any benefit to the goy?
Why would he make such a deal? Yeah. Probably to convince him to do it.
You know, if it was money, you would have interest on it, backdated to that date.
Right.
But if it's chametz, there's absolutely no benefit to the goy taking responsibility for it for 2 weeks. You can't eat it.
Correct. Okay. Maybe let's say
sell it.
there's no benefit for the goy.
Okay.
Could be.
He's just a good neighbor.
He's a good guy.
Well, those are the terms and conditions of the loan in the mashke.
Right.
It's not like he's taking any damage from it.
Right.
True. Well, no, he's taking responsibility for something he can't benefit from. Unless you consider the benefit of having taken the loan.
Right.
He's not taking responsibility for it because even if the chometz depreciates in value, if it doesn't cover the whole loan, the Jew will still have to pay back part of the loan. So the loan was for 1,000 shekel.
No, the goy is taking the loan from the Jew.
No, the goy has lent money to the Jew, and he's taking the mashke, the chometz, as a security.
Right. So if the mashkan decreases in value,
if it's worth less than 1,000 shekel, the Jew will still owe money to the goy. So he's not losing out; he's still owed the full value of the loan.
Okay.
So in this case, where he said me'achshov, where retroactively becomes property of the goy, then it turns out that the chometz did not belong to the Jew on Pesach. So the chometz is goyish chometz, and it's mutter to have benefit from the chometz after Pesach.
That's only true if he doesn't pay back the loan.
Correct.
Right.
If he does pay back the loan, then the chometz becomes asa.
Right.
Right.
What happens if the loan is actually over the course of Pesach, and only after Pesach does he not pay back the loan, and therefore the chametz belongs to the guy? Is that like the only case?
Again.
That's what we're talking about.
What was the case? What did you say?
Where over Pesach, the chametz is still in the possession, quote unquote, of the Jew because he didn't pay back the loan. But after Pesach, he still didn't pay back the loan.
Right.
So chametz is retroactively the guy's.
Right.
So he didn't have it on Pesach. Is that the only case where an avera is completely nullified without any case of point of tshuva at all? It's an interesting thing.
Well, it turns out it's not an avera, because when he doesn't pay him, it retroactively becomes the goy's chometz.
Right, but until that exact moment, he got the avera of having
So
chometz on Pesach.
because of that problem, let's see the MISHNA Berura who's going to say what one has to do to avoid this problem. Let's look at MISHNA Berura Cotton Gimel, the third wide line. The chometz is permitted. One may have derived benefit from the chometz after Pesach. What you're worried about is during Pesach. The Shulchan Aruch is talking about after the loan wasn't paid back, it became goyish chometz. So then one can derive benefit from it. The Mishnah was bringing the poskim was discussing: can one do this in the first instance? Can one pass through Pesach with such a loan, where the chometz during Pesach still belongs to the Jew?
Because if not, it would seem like he has to not pay back that loan after Pesach, otherwise he gets the avera.
Exactly. So let's have a look. אפילו בליבי של לבטוי שכם שביודו לבטוי של פסח אם כן אפשר דף הפיקין over לו לכן רואי להחמיר ולבטוי זה קודם פסח. So there are a number of Achronim who are worried exactly by your problem and say that he's not allowed to do this actually. And he has to make sure to pay back before Pesach and get rid of the chometz. Okay? It's only if it happened, then the chometz is one can have benefit from it. But one may not pass through Pesach with such a situation where if one pays back the loan, then the chometz becomes his. The kosher came kishim mechaven b'shas havo liftois achar Pesach v'ad also tav likmat m'viyote. V'choset b'chok Yaakov im oma b'shas biol ha'akum shelo yifteu od shuv einisa. The Mishna ends up and says the Chok Yaakov says that if at the time of biol chometz before Pesach the Jew goes over to the guy and says to the guy, I'm not going to pay you back. I'm not going to pay you. Then the Chok Yaakov says it's okay. So you can actually do that.
Well, that's just another way of getting rid of the loan. That's just another way of getting rid of the loan, like I said.
Strictly speaking, it hasn't got rid of the loan because strictly speaking, he still has until the payment date to pay back the loan.
Right.
Because things is very clearly said to the guy he's not going to pay back, so that's good enough. Right? And then, even though the chometz still really belongs to the Jew, but when it comes to after Pesach, it retroactively becomes, when it comes to the payment date, retroactively becomes goyish chometz from before Pesach, and therefore. It's okay.
When he made the loan, he said, "You should know I'm not going to pay you back."
He said that when he made the loan,
when the loan was made,
we're talking about not the right.
He said, or before Pesach, he said, "You should know I'm not going to pay you back."
Before Pesach, yeah. If it was at the time of the loan, they wouldn't have done it as a loan; they would have done it as a sale. It's talking about the time of before Pesach.
Right.
The time of being.
But at that exact point, you might as well just nullify the entire thing and say, "This is now the payment date, and I'm not paying it back. Here's the comments."
Again,
what's the point in just saying, by the way, at the payment date,
could do that.
5 months
you
from
could
now.
do that. You could do that, but you don't need to. You could nullify the payment date. But one doesn't need to. It's good enough just to say that I'm not going to pay you. You should know I'm not going to pay you. You could nullify it if you want to. It's even better.
What? Okay. I can't understand why you would do that rather than just do a sale. With the thing.
No, at the time when you lend the money, it could be they lent the money 6 months earlier.
Oh, I see.
Could be originally he was intending to pay him back and then he couldn't.
Okay.
And now Pesach has rolled around, and
he's got business.
I need to get rid of this somehow. I still don't have the money to pay him back. I'll just pay him back with the chametz now and say that this is the end of that.
He's got a big whiskey business. Took a large loan to help him with his business. Left him with a deposit of a warehouse of whiskey, and intending to pay him back. His business failed. He's got no other way to pay him back other than with his the whiskey warehouse. Right? So then before Pesach, he says to the guy, "You should know I'm not going to pay you back."
Right.
And
it's yours.
Yeah.
What they call whiskey business.
Right. These sorts of questions, it's difficult to think of practical cases to explain them. But when the shaila comes up of all these business deals nowadays. Whenever one has one of these questions, right, one has to dissect the case and work out exactly which seif in Shulchan Aruch is talking about the case in question, right? With all these business deals, we're learning about lots of different points here, and that's always the trick with these cases. Whenever one has a case of I gave him money and he gave me this, and the whiskey happened to this, one has to dissect exactly what belongs to who took responsibility, who's responsible for the damages, who owns the chometz, and then one works out which seif it applies to,
right.
And then okay, let's have a look at seif base. Okay, the seif base is going to be the opposite case. Yisrael shehilva le'einu Yehudi al chametzo. Yisrael lent money to a goy. And here the goy gives to the Jew chometz as the security. Mishkenu biyodoi ve'omar leim me'achshov v'higia hazman afilu achar ha'pesach v'lo piroi afilu ein achro Yisraelov also mishum dekoni le'le mafreya. So here's the other way around. The chometz during Pesach belongs to the goy.
Right.
But after Pesach, when the goy doesn't pay back the loan, the chometz retroactively becomes Jewish chometz.
And he can't get rid of it before chametz, or he risks the fact of not getting paid back at all.
Right. But he's going to have to do that. He's going to have to get rid of it before Pesach, because if he doesn't get paid back, the chometz becomes retroactively, and he's going to be over on Pesach. So he's going to have to get rid of it before Pesach.
But if he gets rid of it for Pesach, he's getting rid of a security that belongs to the goy.
That's correct.
It's not his.
Correct. But it's the same if you own your own chometz in your house. If you get rid of it, you lose the value of the chometz. ways of selling it beforehand.
It's different than my taking your chametz and getting rid of it.
Right.
Right. It's my chametz I'm getting rid of. Now I'm getting rid of somebody else's chametz.
Right. So when I have to go to the goy and
say, by the way, I'm tossing this out.
try and work out what to do with the loan.
I just sold your warehouse.
Yeah. If, however, they didn't say the word me'achshav, it doesn't become retroactively Jewish chometz, and the Jew had no responsibility for the chometz over Pesach, then it's okay. So the goy lent money for the Jew. The Jew lent money to the goy. The goy gave a security to the Jew. The security over Pesach belongs to the goy. They didn't say me'achshav. So if the goy doesn't pay back, the chometz will only own the chometz from from that Jew day and onwards, and the Jew had no responsibility for the chometz of Geva Vaveda, responsibility if it's stolen, then it's okay if the goy doesn't pay back after Pesach, the chometz belongs to the Jew, and it's okay to.
So in the whiskey warehouse, this makes perfect sense.
Except for the whole
goy's, he continues to do business in his whiskey warehouse, the goy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And if he doesn't pay back after Pesach, the Jew seizes the warehouse.
Yeah,
and if he does pay back, life goes on.
Correct.
Oh, in that case, he would be seizing the warehouse and all the profits that the guy made during the point at time that he was still holding it.
No,
that would make sense.
He doesn't get any of the profit.
Then there's absolutely no point of the word me'achshav. And might as well erase it from the clause entirely, which would make it a non-existent problem.
No, that's what you're saying, is if you don't say that clause from now, if you don't say that clause, then it's just a normal loan where the goy pays back or he doesn't pay back, and you seize the property.
If you do have the word me'achshav, then shouldn't the Jew also be getting any of the profits that were made in the time that it was still in the possession of the guy in that time? The guy is continuously doing business with this whiskey warehouse.
Either way, he's not going to get the profits because he's only going to be able to claim the mashkoin. It depends on the clause, exactly what they wrote.
Well, the mashkoin is the money made off the mashkoin, isn't it? The pieces of the mashkoin are being
sold. It depends what clause they made. If they explain that they can only take, it depends if you can only take the value of the loan from the chometz, or if you can take the whole chometz. If the loan was $1,000, right, and the chometz was worth $2,000. It depends on exactly what the clause was. If they're allowed to take all the chometz, if they're only allowed to take up to the value of the loan, $1,000 worth of chometz. It would depend whether he gains the profits or not.
Right. In the case where he's not garnered, for example, if he's only getting paid back the loan, for example, let's say the guy managed to sell 5 crates of chometz from which he made 5% profit or something. If you want to say that he's getting the profit, that the Jew will be getting the profit from the 5% profit gotten by selling off pieces of the mashkoin, then yes, it makes sense to say me'achshav, because me'achshav is when that profit is being garnered. But if you are not saying that, then there's absolutely no point in the me'achshav because the value stays the same.
No,
except for the market.
Can I react to that? Nobody would make a deal like that because it's in the creditors, in the person taking the loan's advantage to do very bad business during that time, basically, and lose money, right?
Right.
Then you're stuck with the thing. No, usually loans are against hard assets. They're not against profit and loss.
So then going on that, then unless they also make a clause that it can't go below the original value.
The hard assets.
Right.
Yeah.
In which case you've still got the thing that actually saying me'achshav would be a legitimate business practice here.
Yeah.
If you don't have any of the profits, whatever, and simply the hard asset, there's
or the
no
losses.
reason to say me'achshav.
If you say me'achshav, you have the losses as well.
Right.
Right. That's the problem. That's why, if you come to a bank with a really good idea, right, they may invest in you, but they very likely will not loan to you unless you have a hard asset that they can have as security. Because a good idea can be profit or loss, and that's not the world that they're in. People making loans, they loan against a hard asset. So the goy could not sell whiskey that would reduce his inventory to below the value of the loan.
Unless he knows he's getting exactly that amount of money back. In which case, the hard asset remains the same. Instead of those 5 crates of whiskey, he now has the exact money value worth of 5 crates of whiskey. And it can just sit on the shelf the exact same place where it was. And it might as well be the same exact thing.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, cash is a hard asset.
Exactly.
Have we come to an agreement?
Yeah, I think so. Moving on from the subject
For a
of
moment.
economics, let's get back to Mr. Berura's.
Do you want to borrow the money or don't you?
Can you lend me 5 shekels?
Okay. To solve all problems, next time we'll take a non-chometz security.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got any silver?
Okay. Fine, let's move on to the next simon. Simon Tov Mem Beis. Simon Tov Mem Beis is one of the very, very important simonim in terms of defining what's called chometz. Right? We'll have the questions with all these different products in our home, whether it's
Antifreeze.
cosmetics, medicines.
They probably don't use antifreeze in Israel. I just realized.
Various different products which may have chometz derived ingredients. Are they problematic or are they not problematic? Oven cleaner. Right? Let's have a look at some Tov Mem Beis. Din ta'aroves chometz, halachas of chometz, mixtures of chometz, right? Chometz inside products. Sif Aleph. Okay, it's very late. We'll just make a start. Ta'aroves chometz, oven malov mishum bal yeroeh, v'bal yemotzi. Okay, even if chometz is not by itself, but it's mixed in together with, it's mixed inside another product, one is over on bal yeroeh, bal yemotzi, right? One's not allowed to own this chometz on Pesach. Kagoin, hamorius, the kutach habavli, the sheikha hamodi. Right, these are all names of various different foods that were banned just under 2,000 years ago. The MISHNA Berura will explain to us what some of them are. Okay? And any other product similar to these from edible products. Right? So we're talking about an edible product here, which has chometz as one of the ingredients. Right? So if one owns this chometz over Pesach, one's over the issa of owning chometz. Tu lavim bal yeroeh bal yemotzi. But something which has chometz mixed inside it, but it's inedible, one may own this chometz on Pesach. Right? One's not over bal yeroeh bal yemotzi, and therefore one may own the chometz on Pesach. Kagoin, arevas v'abdonin, shelos hanasoichoi kemach. Tanners who are tanning hides, and they put it in as one of the ingredients for the mixture for tanning the hides. They put in flour. This mixture is completely inedible, and therefore he's allowed to keep this mixture in his house on Pesach, even though it's got pure chometz inside. It's completely inedible. It's perfectly okay. Okay. Just going to go into the details of let's stop here because it's a very complicated seif. We've already run out of time. And we'll have a look at the MISHNA Berura on Tuesday, and then we'll continue the short.